Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. And Matt Hardy knew that one good final run of his career wouldn't come in AEW. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Matt Hardy is in TNA. Jeff Hardy is in TNA. And Matt Hardy's wife, Rebby Hardy, is in TNA. We're probably going to get the Hardy kids and the gardener back in TNA soon enough. But Matt Hardy is going to look to keep his garden nice and trimmed, nice and immaculate this time in TNA, because in AEW, things got out of control. His career, his stint in AEW, let's be honest, it was a bit of a shit show. Jeff Hardy's wasn't much better, and Matt Hardy recently spoke during an appearance on Busted Open Radio to talk about his run with Brother Jeff, Brother Nero in AEW. But before we go into what Matt Hardy had to say, Matt Hardy had to say, we're going to listen to what we have to say, because I think the Hardy Boys have probably got the most disappointing run out of anybody that went from WWE to AEW. I don't want to hear people say Miro or whatever, because at the end of the day, Miro to me is just a guy. Right, he had one cool moment, WrestleMania, Tank, I get it. The Hardys are legitimate legends, one of the best tag teams to ever do it. And I just think their run in AEW was so disappointing, especially after Matt Hardy actually got off to a decent start in that feud with Jericho. But looks like Jericho kills everything, and Matt Hardy's career got killed right from the get-go.
I agree, but here I think Matt Hardy's was a million times better than Jeff. Jeff came in, drugged out, fallen, breaking necks, not his own. Well, no, it was his own, but he wasn't doing much. At least with Matt, you can argue, yeah, at the start it was alright, but for the most part, I there's not one good thing to say about Jeff's.
Other than a couple of concussions, what did the Hardy Boys have to show? Well, their bank balances, I'm going to guess, are decent.
I'm going to guess they're decent here, but at the end of the day, I'm glad they're back in TNA, but I think the Hardy Boys have sucked for a long time. Not maybe sucks the wrong terminology, but I think Jeff Hardy sucked for a long time.
I think the broken stuff works for Matt. I don't think Brother Nero's a good gimmick for Jeff. I think Jeff, as Jeff Hardy, the charismatic enigma, I still think that's a main event level talent guy. Even though he can't really go to the level he used to, the guy's in TNA, I think he should be... And I'm not saying Matt Hardy shouldn't be a main event guy, but I think when you give Jeff Hardy the broken gimmick, you're essentially making him a secondary character to Matt, and I think Jeff Hardy's too big, too popular, too good for that.
Yeah, he is. He's never been second fiddle to Matt, so why change it now? I mean, yeah. Jeff Hardy by himself is a bigger deal than broken Matt Hardy.
Yeah, for me, I think the broken Matt Hardy stuff 100% works for Matt Hardy. I don't think the Brother Nero stuff works for Jeff. They did it once for a short period of time, and I think it was good. But I think there's money in Jeff Hardy having one last run as Jeff Hardy and not basically like an add-on of Matt.
No, I totally agree with that, but the problem is with Jeff, he's just not reliable. Matt is. Which is
Matt never used to, well, he never used to be, but he probably is. He probably is now. I mean, he is. Although there was a period of time, I'd say around 2009, 10, 11, where both of them were completely fucked.
But I would say Jeff was way more reliable.
Trustworthy one, yeah.
Way more reliable despite that Victory Road.
Yeah, Matt must have been going through some shit if Jeff Hardy was the reliable one during that period of time. But Matt, I think, had potential, right? But for me, Jeff Hardy could have been the top. I think Jeff Hardy could have been in that second spot in WWE behind Cena if the guy just wasn't this unreliable person that would let you down and get high and do drugs. Because for me, I can't think of anybody other than Cena who really had the popularity of Jeff Hardy in the mid 2000s. Even the early 2000s, mid 2000s, late 2000s. Even when Jeff Hardy got his title in WWE in 2009, when he became the WWE champion, he beat Triple H and whatnot. I mean, the crowd were going mental for Jeff Hardy, but at the end of the day, his run kind of fizzled out, and then shortly his career fizzled out.
It did, and it's a shame. I mean, I like the Hardy Boys, but I've said this before. I think almost honestly for about take away Matt's broken run, I think Jeff Hardy has not been good for almost 15 years. I don't think when he went back to TNA after his 2009 WWE run, it was horrendous.
I thought he was alright as Immortal. I like that heel Jeff Hardy, no? Another me is what there will
Right.
never be.
Maybe 15 years is a bit much, but
Jeff coming out with Hogan and Bischoff
it's approaching 15 years.
with the purple fucking belt.
Aye, well, you know, he was probably injecting purple meth into his bloody veins or something.
Anyway, let's talk that classic match against Sting. Let's see what Matt Hardy had to say on Busted Open Radio. He says, quote, I believe in TNA that Hardy Boys can get the run that we deserve at this stage of our careers, and that is the run to cement our legacy, and that is very important to both of us. Look, we have incredible star power. If you were at WrestleCon in Philadelphia, it was outrageous how much we signed, how many people that were there to see us. We have fans coming up crying to us like it's 2000 all the time, but I feel like AEW is more focused on having a 5-star match as opposed to having a segment that is hugely impactful and makes a moment. We would have loved to have had that run in AEW, but lo and behold, that didn't happen. And I think we are both happy now that we are somewhere else where we feel like we'll get utilised and optimised in our status as legends as we are. Legends who can still go. AEW is a great organisation, the pro wrestling world needs it, but it wasn't the place for me and Jeff at this certain time because they are just in a different mindset. I think Tony Khan is in a different mindset. It is what it is. It's nothing to be hot about. Tony Khan, great dude. I was paid great while I was there. It was just both us, myself and Jeff. We wanted something different. There was one point where I just said, we haven't won a match in 11 months on TV, and we are legitimately in the top 5 conversation of greatest tag teams of all time. Like, what is going on here? End of quote. What the heck is going on here? How can the Hardy Boys not pick up a win in almost a full year in AEW, considering the amount of fucking bombs that are on that show?
I mean, there was a period where they were on Rampage, right? I mean, they were on Rampage, bear that in mind, and they couldn't buy a win.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they could fit. It was not often the Hardys actually got on Dynamite or Collision. And then you're looking to see that reboot of Collision. Well, not the reboot. See when the initial beginning of Collision and it was CM Punk's show. Do you not think that should have been an opportunity where they made the Hardys like a big focal point of Collision?
No, they should have. Why would you do it with the FTR? You see, if you had the Hardys and CM Punk working together, I know they didn't really see eye to eye ever.
I don't even think they need to work together, but just have the Hardys be a big focal point.
Well, I just meant like work together on the brand, like here where the draws.
I get that, but I mean, could you imagine on Collision if you're getting CM Punk, you're getting the Hardy Boys, and then on Dynamite you're getting the Elite? You'd be like, well, fucking Collision's the A show for me.
Absolutely.
But it never happened, and the Hardys pretty much spent the last 2 years of their careers jobbing out on Rampage, losing to guys that probably don't even deserve to be in the same ring as the Hardy Boys. So
I tell you what, I think they could be selling themselves short there. But the whole top 5 conversations of greatest tag teams of all time.
Maybe he's just being modest.
Maybe he's being modest. Here, I mean, are they my favourite of all time? I don't think they're my favourite, but here, if someone said they're the greatest, I'm not going to argue it.
Well, who's your favourite?
I probably prefer the Dudleys over the Hardys.
I'd probably agree with that, but I don't think there's much in it.
And then Edge and Christian are right there.
I love Edge and Christian, but I think longevity goes against them.
Yes.
Either way, I'm excited to see Matt Hardy back in TNA. I'm excited to see Jeff Hardy back in TNA. And I think with the Hardy Boys in TNA, and then you've got Joe Hendry, who at the moment is popping off, and hopefully he doesn't get stolen. If he can stay in TNA and they can start booking the Hardy, like what Matt says there, I don't think that's bullshit. I genuinely believe that the Hardys are still 2 of the most popular guys in wrestling. People will laugh at that and say that they're not over anymore. I guarantee you more people care about the Hardys than 90% of this current generation. I know I do.
I do, and the ratings on TNA suggest, well, not the ratings, but I mean the actual clips on YouTube.
Just because WWE and AEW book the Hardys like jobbers, that doesn't mean that they are jobbers. Just because they're using them to put over this new generation, I mean, it doesn't mean shit. For me, I think wrestling, week in, week out, is going to be better if the Hardy Boys are big parts of it. I don't care if Matt can no longer go like he used to. Matt's not really been able to go since about 2005. His hips were fucking beginning to fall apart, so...
He was doing leg drops every week from the rafters on Edge.
I think Edge stole more than Lita. I think Edge stole his hips as well.
His arse collapsed.
Hips don't fucking lie. Shakira. Anyway, that's it, guys. Matt Hardy back in TNA, looking to be utilised. I mean, he says they can still go. To a certain extent, he can, and I'm looking forward to seeing them go in TNA. And I tell you what, I mean, this is a reason, I think, to get you to watch TNA. Maybe not tonight, but I'd be a lot more likely to tune into TNA knowing that you're getting the Hardy Boys on it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, that's... the Hardy Boys and Joe Hendry, that's better than anything that's going... fucking probably in any company.
I believe in TNA. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time, Matt Hardy forever. Version 1, version 2. What version of Matt Hardy is he on right now? Probably version 420. Anyway, till next time. Peace.